What is up, everybody? Trip Morgan here for Panthers Source, joined for the postgame show, as always, by my good friend Billy Harless here. Billy, how's it going?
Hey, how you guys doing tonight? I'm doing good.
It is yet another Panthers football postgame show here for Panthers Source, and tonight we're bringing it to you live on YouTube for the first time. We've been saying we're going to get to it, and it's just been moving. Look, if for those of you that don't live stream, moving from one platform to another is kind of sketchy. I just want to make sure we have everything filled out, and I'm not sure that we even really do right now. I checked everything before; it looked good. It looks like it's running good now, so we'll hope it keeps that way. We're going to try this thing out right here on YouTube, but Panthers football is back. We talked about this last week. We played the Bills. It's back again tonight. We saw some more good things. We saw some more bad things that we didn't expect to see in the first week, and now we've seen it again here in the second week. We'll hit on all of that. But while you're here, go ahead and hit the like button on this video. Believe it or not, it does help out. Comment your discussion, your topics, anything you want to talk about. We will try to hit it all. We're on Facebook, Twitter, right here on YouTube, obviously. And if you're the podcast guy who likes to catch things on the road, on the go, we're on iTunes, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, and Spotify as well. You can find it all. It's as simple as all of this. Just type in Panther Source on all of those search engines, and it should pop right up. But for now, we're going to kind of jump right into things. Billy, things got started tonight, and CMC jumped things right off the page to get going.
Yeah, I had some complaints that too much of the offense was running through him, but and I made the comparison to looks like Le'Veon Bell out there with we're passing every ball to him, every run plays to him. It worked in a close game. The run he had, breaking attack on the backfield,
71 yards. Yeah. Guys, look at this. I've got this pulled up for you. Don't wait. You ain't gotta wait. You ain't gotta try to picture it. I've got it pulled up. It's pretty freaking ridiculous. Whoop! I gotta turn that off for a second. It's pretty crazy. Look, just gone. Press the turbo and he's done. I thought it was pretty good, and the blocking was actually, something we talked about. Since these injuries have kind of been stirred up on the offensive line with Darrell Williams and Amini, a lot of people obviously weren't big fans of Amini Silatolu at left guard. So a lot of people weren't. I don't pull for injuries for anybody. I didn't want to see him have to go out due to an injury, but it's definitely better off now with Van Roten or Tyler Larson or somebody else filling that role, in my opinion. Taylor Moton swung over to right tackle, really seamless fit, and could really take that position from Darrell Williams in the long run anyway. But you're kind of seeing this stuff start to unfold now as we're watching it live, and I've seen a lot of people commenting on it and saying, hey, look, this offensive line doesn't look that bad. Outside of one guy on the left side, nobody wants to talk about and is getting paid more than the majority of them on the offensive line together. And that being Matt Khalil, who was, again, beat like a drum tonight.
Yeah, we had said, man, this offensive line looks great. They started off well. There was a couple hiccups. Second quarter going in the second half. But Khalil was the sore spot on there. Once again. Yep,
and that's. I just don't know. I know at this point, Khalil, barring an injury, it's not necessarily like the Silatolu situation. Barring an injury, Khalil is the guy at left tackle, and there's just no ifs, ands, and buts about it. There's really nobody there to strongly compete for it. And you saw Cam 2 or 3 times tonight, just almost immediately. There was a couple of times Cam just held onto the ball flat too long. Yeah. We were sitting there watching the game. I'm like, Cam, just especially in the preseason,
just throw it away.
Yeah, and in the regular season, now we went for that 2-point conversion after the McCaffrey touchdown. All right, fine, that's cool. I'm down with that. And Cam had an open run lane. He didn't take it. Ended up just throwing the ball away in that situation. Yeah. Or he may have gotten sacked, actually.
No, he got sacked.
I was going to say he got sacked, but in a regular game, I feel like Cam has that open lane. He's going to take that and score. I'll take Cam Newton getting 2 yards for a 2-point conversion any day. I'd almost take that over a Graham Gano extra point, honestly. But, he didn't take it, get sacked, and that wasn't the only time we saw it. But every time we did see it, it was coming from that left side. And that's just disturbing to see moving forward. We've kind of hit on this offensive line being the biggest worry going into the season. I feel a lot better about it at this point than I did going into training camp. But the left tackle's position is still one to be kind of one that needs to be you'd say addressed, but it is addressed. Like we know what it is unless Matt Khalil goes down.
Yeah.
So that's going to be something interesting to see. Another big topic going into the night, actually, that I'm going to hit on before we dig too much further into stats, the midfield logo, Billy. What do you want to see at Bank of America midfield for a logo? Do you want to see that NFL shield back? I mean, do you care?
It doesn't matter. If football is football.
Yeah.
Like, I think the big thing was the end zones painted this game.
Yeah,
whatever.
Well.
But I don't care what the field looks like.
Yeah.
If they did have an interview and I heard a little bits and pieces of it during halftime. If they do include 2 states, I think it would be different. I don't know if the NFL has rules against it, but having that 1 team, 2 states in the middle, I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, that would be pretty interesting. And it was something you were mentioning about that, and the first thing that popped in my mind was that the Panther crawling over the North Carolina and South Carolina border outline logos black with the Blue Panther, or vice versa, or all black, whatever it is. And that would be interesting. That's something that actually hasn't been talked about a lot. But obviously, the thing being pushed right now is the Panthers midfield logo. It's actually been pushed by fans for several years, though everybody knew it wasn't changing under Jerry Richardson. Yeah. And actually, David Tepper met with Julius Peppers before the game tonight and the field crew, and talked to them about it. And it was actually pretty damn funny. So we're gonna let that roll here. Let's see.
Look at that. All right. Let me ask you a question.
Yep.
What do you think we should
Talking
do with
to
this
Tom
midfield
Vaughn
here?
there. Look at him.
Well, people sure have wanted to change it for a long time.
I actually like this idea. I'm not opposed to this.
See, I got it
I'm not
here.
opposed to it at all.
Peppers jersey.
Yeah.
Peppers. I'm thinking putting Peppers in the middle of the field. What do you think about that idea?
Good plan.
He's a good player. Been with the team a long time, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Strange. Let's see what this looks like here.
Yeah, we definitely have to
This is right
dig
center
into
midfield.
the
All right, let's
NFL
see how this goes here.
policies to see if that 2
You
state
think that a bit bigger here and see how that would be?
Yeah, I'm not.
How you doing?
Yeah, I don't know
Good to
anything
see
about it. I'm not sure how all that works. That's a good point though, because if that's something that he wants to look into, and I'm sure Tepper knows what he's doing.
Oh yeah, I mean
he is playing straight in, and that's actually something else he did for this game was he was going around to tailgates and tailgating with fans in this game, and that was absolutely sensational to me. He showed up at our Friends of the Roaring Riot tailgate party, took pictures with them, even had a beer with them.
Yeah,
you would have never seen this in the past, and I just think it was really good to see.
Is that a normal thing that owners do?
Not that I'm aware of.
I mean, we've been under Richardson forever since the beginning, and he's old.
Yeah.
But I've never heard of another owner going out to meet the fans at the tailgate before the game.
No, and you wouldn't have seen Jerry Richardson doing it, not without a golf cart.
There was a golf cart. I saw somebody. I saw somebody in the comments. Where's the golf cart? Oh, it's over there.
Yeah. And like I said, he wasn't just going to the Roaring Riot tailgate. He was jumping around. So there is that. But anyway, I thought that was something cool. I know a lot of people were talking about it before the game, so I wanted to hit on that a little bit. But back to the actual Panthers on-field action. One of the other things we talked a lot about last week, and something I felt pretty strongly about, was Dante Jackson would get the start this week at cornerback behind Bradbury. He did get that start.
Yep. A
lot of fans were approving of it. We're very excited about it. And I think he performed pretty well. Now, the first pass to him, now, we'll start off saying this. They had him playing off the receiver he was guarding, which was, I think it was Corey. I know his last name was Grant. I think it was Corey Grant. He's a deep speed threat receiver for Miami. They had him playing off of him considerably.
Yeah.
So you saw a lot of comeback routes early on in this game that were very successful, not only against him, but James Bradbury as well. And you saw him miss a tackle the first time, but then he came back and actually got off a block and made a tackle to stop a third down attempt. That was really good to see. And I think other than that, we saw a couple of passes targeted his way where he was just all over the guy, blanketed.
The one near the beginning of the game, it was an overthrow. You know, it was a miscommunication, but it was like he was right in his hip pocket.
Yeah,
and it's something you haven't seen.
I mean, you just saw
our secondary in a long time. Yeah.
The only thing you saw when he threw that pass was him. You just saw a blue jersey with white pants. That fresh new uni combo, by the way. That's all you saw. You didn't even see the Miami receiver until they were panning back to him after the pass was incomplete, and it was like, okay, that was one-on-one man coverage. Yeah. It was really, really comforting. You see what Ron Rivera and them are talking about now. So I was pleased with his overall performance. James Bradbury struggled a little bit again, and it was mainly on comeback routes that we were seeing tonight. It seemed like every time they were throwing a comeback route, the guy was open. It's a tough route to defend, especially when you're already playing off on a guy. Yeah. You're trying to protect the deep ball. So, I mean, there is that. But outside of that, I felt like the defense was putting some bad spots tonight. But overall, they performed well after a rough first half drive. Well, half of that first drive was pretty rough. Anyway, let's put it that way. And then they bunkered down, held them to the field goal. Cam came out, CMC ran for that touchdown we talked about, and then he threw an interception, and they were able to hold him in the red zone to another field goal. Really 3 straight field goals. So I feel like they performed pretty well up against the task in a bad spot.
Yeah, it was for the field position that our offense put them in. They bent, they didn't break.
Yeah,
and it's nice to just have those field goals and stay in control of the game, not allowing those touchdowns. There wasn't anybody I was mad at tonight on defense. We were in the line was getting in the backfield quite often. Love was one. I know there was 3 or 4 plays in a row. He's in the backfield, and finally he was able to connect with one of the tackles.
Yep. And that was also Marquise Haynes was in on that. Yep. The young guy that a lot of people are excited about. And there was one other. Denor Searcy, safety, veteran safety for us, came in, delivered that hit. I can't get upset with the penalty. I'm more so upset that Searcy ultimately hurt himself and is likely in the concussion protocol after the hit. Hurt himself on the play. Obviously, this should and did thrust Rashawn Golden, rookie out of Tennessee that we drafted safety, into his spot. And we'll have to see where Searcy is on the concussion protocol and follow that along.
He didn't go to the tent.
Yeah,
he went straight to the locker room.
Yep.
So I would say he's going to be in protocol for sure. I mean, when he didn't know where he was.
Yep. I thought it was a pretty severe hit, and I wasn't. You can't really be mad at that penalty. It was kind of bang bang, but he lowered his head, and there were other ways to do it. We saw another young guy, Lorenzo Doss, earlier tonight. Went to make a play on a wide receiver screen and just went to lower his shoulder and make a hard hit on the guy who couldn't see him, and he spun off of him and went up the field. It was only a 2-yard gain, but he could have had him for a 2-yard loss.
Yeah.
And that's stuff young guys got to do. Just wrap him up and take him to the ground.
Oh, yeah.
I saw some people tweeting saying if he makes that hit, that's probably a 15-yard penalty. Well, I disagree. You can wrap up at the legs and take the guy down or just hold him there.
I think if there's the wrap up with the hit, it doesn't look as violent and doesn't sound as bad because I think the refs do react to the.
You can hear the hits here. Imagine what they sound like on TV.
To what it sounds like and what it looks like. But if he wraps up, he's probably not good the flag. But when all it is he's turned into a missile and it's his head.
Yep.
They're going to throw that every time.
Mm-hmm. I agree. And on the defensive side, we'll jump offensive. Like I said earlier, offense jumped off with a bang with CMC.
Yeah.
71-yard touchdown run, and after that, it was kind of Cam had a great throw on the outside to Torrey Smith for a big conversion, and then turned right around and threw a pick. Well, he just stared down Greg Olsen, and again, we talked about this in the first game, Billy. Cam and Greg just can't. They did connect tonight later on, but they just right now Cam is struggling getting the ball to Greg Olsen. He's overthrown him in the first game against the Bills, and now he just stared him down, and it was an easy pick.
Yeah, it's surprising. They were not on the same page the first game. I must have missed the reception tonight. I walked out of the room for a minute, so I must have missed that one. But yeah, he stared down Greg, and even the ball. I mean, I don't know if there's miscommunication because Greg was nowhere near that ball,
Right.
and even though it hadn't been picked, it would have still been incomplete. But it's real confusing because they have the most time, but with Greg not having a bright spot in any of these games, we're seeing the other new tight end step up.
Yeah.
And that's, I'm excited for the new
Ian Thomas.
Ian Thomas coming in. Maybe it might be time for Greg to.
And that was the next play.
Sideline.
And that was the next play I was going to hit on because Thomas came in, they did well. They run a mesh concept. Cam hits him, drag underneath. Cam hits him, and boom, Ian Thomas showing the speed and the athleticism that everybody was hyped up about. Touchdown. When he caught it, I was like, sweet, good gain. And then
the whole
it was like he was just like, and guys are coming at him, and for a tight end, you're thinking, okay, he's going to get caught. Not this guy. He's gone. Touchdown, and there's been a lot of hype around Ian Thomas. I'm big fan here of Ian Thomas and what he could bring to this team. I used the hell out of him on Madden 19, along with my buddy Den at the Keep Pounding podcast. We're big fans of Ian Thomas. And Dante Jackson and Gaulden. We put all those guys in. We sub them in. I'm soon going to have to put in a sub for Matt Khalil, apparently. Sorry, Matt. It's just the way it is. But yeah, big play for Ian Thomas, and I think that was key because it was a Cam touchdown. Yeah. Cam tonight, I think last week he was 6 of 9. Tonight he was 9 of 12, 89 yards and a touchdown with the pick. Obviously, Christian McCaffrey 5 carries, 92 yards. An 18.4 yard per carry average and a touchdown, which we all know that was inflated a little bit. But the thing about this is again, the first thing I said about this last week was McCaffrey is the lead back.
Yeah.
And I think it was pretty much solidified tonight. And guys, we kind of hit on this last week, and this isn't a fantasy football podcast or show or anything like that. But if you are drafting in fantasy football, you need to have Christian McCaffrey on your team because it looks like he could just be prepared in this offense to completely light things up.
Yeah.
PPR leagues, even standard.
How many receptions do you have tonight?
Let's see. Let me jump and analyze. I thought I had it there. He had 5 rushes and he had 4 catches.
4 catches.
4 catches for 28 yards.
More.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, he was targeted quite often. He actually dropped one he probably could have taken for a good little bit for a third down conversion.
And to talk about the backfield, the running backs, and you had walked out of the room, and I was telling a friend Derek, dude, Anderson, he doesn't look that good.
No, he doesn't.
When you look at Cap and then even Barner.
Yeah,
I mean Barner lit it up in the
and Barner's
now we're playing third, fourth,
right. But so is Anderson. Anderson's not in there against first string guys.
He's not first string, but he's a little bit better player.
Yeah, no, he can play first string.
He can play, but he's not taking. He has not shown the advantage of. He's not taking advantage of his playing time yet.
And I agree, but he's also not now. The offensive line behind our first string is not going to be good. But it's like I told our buddy Derek, was over here watching the game earlier tonight. C.J. Anderson reminds me of Mike Tolbert when he's out there catching passes and running. Just the way he moves, a hair bit slower. He's a bigger guy, short. He kind of reminds me of Mike Tolbert. I was very happy with the signing. I think it was a great value deal. He just had a 1,000-yard rushing season last year, and I think he can be pivotal in short yardage situations with his power finesse. But I've said it all off season, and a lot of people didn't agree. But I feel like McCaffrey can do this every down back, and that's the way the Panthers seem to be leading.
Well, you could even last week when we were goal line, Anderson's bigger than McCaffrey. McCaffrey stayed in. McCaffrey. He stayed in on the goal line.
Dude, how many times did they use him tonight? Like he was everywhere tonight. I mean, there was a run to McCaffrey, a pass to McCaffrey, run to McCaffrey, and it was like this is a one-man team right now outside of Cam Newton. But it's comforting to see Cam have that much trust in a guy like that and keep dishing the ball out down low if he gets in trouble. Like I said, we said earlier, the only thing I really like to see more of from Cam is him throwing that ball away instead of taking the sack. Now, there were a couple times tonight, like we said, Matt Khalil didn't help that cause and was a speed bump. Robert Quinn coming in, new signee for the Dolphins, coming off the right sides. He's fast. He's powerful. I mean, he's known to get to the quarterback, and you saw that. So that's going to be something we have to watch, is that left side. Other than that, though, as long as everybody can stay healthy, I really feel good about where the rest of the offensive line is trending. We saw some positive blocking there. On the wide receiver front, Curtis Samuel leading the team tonight. 2 catches, 65 yards. Not a whole lot receiving wise outside of McCaffrey's, and Ian Thomas. Curtis Samuel did have a great catch down the sideline on a ball, and that's promising to see, because I'm still a big fan of Curtis Samuel being a large part of this offense. He's shown he's got so much athletic ability. He's quick. He's fast. He's athletic. He's improved on his catching ability. Clearly, that's been shown through the first 2 games, and he looks healthy considering that injury.
Even the one where he went out of bounds and pinned it to his back. Yeah, I mean, he still caught it.
Yeah, that's insane.
It's a lot. His catching ability is a lot better than it was last year.
Yeah, and actually,
and I think how many? I want to say it had to have been less than 3 times that Moore was targeted.
Yeah, he didn't catch a single ball tonight.
Okay, so the one he did catch was the boom play with the interception.
Right, yeah. He caught it, and the guy and it was really just a great hit. Yeah. I mean, it was a great hit by the linebacker. Hit him, and the ball popped right out. I mean, that's just a great hit. There's not much you can ask Moore to do in that situation. So that was a little disappointing. This is something that kind of hit on last week, Billy, about DJ Moore, from what we've seen of him anyway. I've liked what I've seen, but everybody was raving about his first week preseason game success, but he had like 1 catch with the ones, and his big, everything, the moves everybody was talking about, he had towards the end of the game against backup defensive players. And granted, I was the first one up here saying, hey, this guy, look, this is a great move. You saw him moving. I'm looking forward to it, and I am. But we're not seeing a whole lot in that first, with the ones and Cam and everybody else. I don't know how to judge that right now, and maybe they're holding some stuff back.
And
this is preseason. Yeah. We have to keep reminding ourselves what the hell is going on during a certain play, and you're like, oh shit, it's preseason. Trip. It's just preseason.
Because how many of the trick plays are we going to run with all the speed we have, and like we did last year with Samuel and Bird, so there's a lot we haven't seen, and maybe that opens up more for DJ Moore, but so far he's just another player on the field that nothing flashy. He's not getting stats.
Yeah, outside of the first week. I mean, and granted, this is only week 2 of the preseason. I'm not freaking out about him being a bust or anything like that. I feel like he's still going to be a very solid addition to this offense. I just, right now you're not seeing, and I kind of feel with the way things have gone at training camp practices and everything else, I kind of feel like it's that we're holding on to things because we don't want to show too many cards right now, and that's typically how it goes in preseason. And we'll have more opportunity to see even more of them next week. And the dress rehearsal game against the New England Patriots is always week 3 of the preseason for most teams. So I mean, but hey, Cam and them played. First string offense played for just about the whole first half tonight.
And we talked, you hit on it in the game. There was a run play that, Cam handed off. The house came, and, in a regular season, he would have audibled out of that. He would have read the defense. Yep. But that was the play. C.J. Anderson run. Yep. It's going to go to him. That's what he's doing.
Yeah, if it's a run in the preseason, I'm not expecting Cam to audible out and play action, put anybody else, run the play. Let's do what we're here to do in preseason. And like I said, on the 2-point conversion, Cam, when McCaffrey went out into the flat of the end zone, he carried a linebacker with him, and that right side was just, I could have ran into the end zone untouched. Yeah. And Cam just hung in there and then ended up taking a sack. And I was actually talking to my buddy Bobby on Twitter. I said, if this was a regular season game, that's Cam all day. Like, he's taking that, and I'm not questioning his ability to do so. So there is that. And then the rest of the offense, Devin Funchess had 1 catch tonight. Damiere Byrd not having a big of preseason as he has in the past. And right now, we talked about how many receivers are they going to keep on this team this year. And before preseason started, we were saying, look, they could keep 6. Yeah. And You're talking a talented, depth there, and if you put one of these guys on a practice squad, they could easily be scooped up. But that if there was a guy, it would be Damiere Byrd.
Yeah.
But I was saying that during the during training camp and stuff. But right now, I'm not too sure. Even if we don't keep Byrd, the depth at receiver should still be good enough. If we lose a guy, there's a guy there to step in and fill that role handedly. Yeah. And right now, Damiere Byrd, it's not really his own fault. It's just, he's not in there getting as many reps because of other guys ahead of him. Mm-hmm. And right now, I'm not sure that he's being able to show a whole lot. I know he's been involved in special teams, which is a big key in making the roster with Ron Rivera. So that's going to be interesting. I'd still like to see him stay because I feel like if he's not on the 53-man, he's going to be going to another team, and I'd hate to lose that.
And I feel the special teams is definitely going to help him. Because if not, we're going to put McCaffrey back. He's going to get 25 touches and do special teams.
Yeah.
So I feel that Byrd right now the best bet is special teams is what keeps him on the roster.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, Damiere Byrd. I really hope he can make it. Bill, are you seeing anybody in the chats? Because I don't see my chat feed working up here.
It was not. I haven't seen anybody in chat.
Okay, because I thought I saw something saying we had some messages, but I'm not seeing them. Anyway, I'm gonna keep rolling along with the stats here. We were talking about Damiere Byrd there. I said Devin Funchess, Torrey Smith had that 12-yard catch. Not a whole lot tonight because really, outside of the Ian Thomas and the Christian McCaffrey, Taylor Heineke was I say Heineke. I think it's Heineke.
Yeah.
He had the second QB role tonight.
Which I was planned, so.
Yeah, right. When Garrett Gilbert had it the first week, and now it was switched around. Heineke looked good in the first preseason game. He earned that spot. Didn't think he looked bad. Was there a whole lot
for the backup when you have Cam Newton as your number one?
Yeah, and then you're going against these other guys. And stuff. And he actually threw the dime to Curtis Samuel.
Yeah,
which was a really good throw. Garrett Gilbert actually came in and threw a really good back shoulder throw to Damiere Byrd down the sideline, which is beautiful. I love those back shoulder throws when a quarterback can throw a guy open like that. So those are promising things, but it's like we said before. No offense to these guys right now, but this isn't in the Panthers offense under Cam Newton. This is going to be a tough spot for anybody to step up and fill. But we've seen some pretty good things. Hopefully that'll continue. And obviously you saw there was one guy, Jamal Jones, wide receiver tonight, that caught that one underneath route and made some nifty moves in and out on some defenders and got some extra yards. I actually think he picked up a first down on the play. I was really impressed with that. That was fun to watch. But outside of that, man, I really think that's all I can really think of from tonight's game.
Gano missed a field goal.
Oh, yeah, Gano missed a field goal. That's what I'm saying. I'd rather have Cam Newton just from 2 yards out, just pile-on dive. And, oh, man, we just paid him all that money, too. That's disappointing. For those of you watching this channel, we are doing a giveaway, as you can see at the bottom, 1,000 sub fan kit giveaway. So basically how this is going to work is when we hit 1,000 subscribers, we will be giving away a jersey, a etched Panthers cup, and possibly a couple other things to go with it as like a little fan kit. And they will only the only people entered will be subscribers on this channel. So hopefully you are going to be subscribing if you haven't already and joining us, and you might possibly win a Panthers jersey. And actually, I've been taking live votes via Facebook, and now I'm going to do it on YouTube right here. If you could choose one Panthers jersey that you could win of your choice, what would it be? Billy, if you could take any Panthers jersey right now, who would it be?
When I was at the stadium a month ago, I looked through all of them, and it's so hard to choose one. But probably a McCaffrey jersey.
Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
I could dig that. See, right now I'm wearing a Luke, and it's actually signed. My wife has been killing me all night about wearing this signed jersey while I'm eating pizza, watching football, and having a beer. But Anyway, it's a sign. I've got a Cam Newton sign, and I've got a Steve Smith not sign, which breaks my heart. If I could have another, it would probably be, man, McCaffrey would be good. I'd love to have a Dante Jackson jersey for some. I would love to have him. Greg Olsen. I got several. I don't know if I could really choose one, but
that was my problem. I ended up with the polo.
Yeah, with the polo.
But I looked at them and I tried them on. Not a jersey fan. Like, so I didn't buy one.
So
but
you gotta have them.
I looked at the TD, Luke, of course, and then McCaffrey. But I just know I'm scared to get a stain on.
Look, I'm not watching this. I mean, this has got Luke Kuechly's autograph, and my other one's got Cam Newton's. I ain't watching this. It's pretty dingy at the bottom, and guess what? It'll be all right.
Yeah.
I'm keeping that autograph. I ain't watching that thing. So y'all drop in the comments if you could have a jersey of your choice, who would it be? And then subscribe for a chance to win Panthers fan kit once we hit 1,000 subscribers. Share this, smash that like button, jump in the comments to discuss.
We do have
Panther fan. Yeah, I'm seeing some people now. Panther fan 13. Haynes and Carter going to be good for us. Yes, Marquise Haynes. I was talking about earlier. Man, the kid at this point right now, he is on pace to make this roster, in my opinion, at defensive end, because he is a speed threat off the end. You saw him with Kyle Love earlier on that play we were talking about. He read the left tackle's movement and then jumped up on the screen. Beautiful play. And there's been a lot of rave on him in training camp from various reporters about his speed, and we need all the depth at defensive end right now that we can get behind Julius Peppers, Wes Horton, and Mario Addison, especially young guys. And he was part of that. You know, we traded up to get Ian Thomas in the 4th round of the draft. One of the picks we gained for that actually ended up being Marquise Haynes. So it's kind of a double whammy there for the Panthers, picking up Marquise Haynes and Ian Thomas. Great stuff. I really look forward to seeing more of them. And I expect him, as if he keeps improving like this throughout the preseason, I expect him to get more reps next week with, the early down guys on defense. And then in week 4, they'll probably dial it back. But right now, he's on pace to make it.
My question: when TD's been playing,
yes,
he has the 4-game suspension.
That goes into effect regular season.
Right. So I want to see
Shaq Thompson. Yeah.
And I'm ready to see that. He was in tonight, but I'm ready to see that package.
Yeah, that transition. Yeah. And I understand. That's a fair question. It's actually when it's not being taught. It was originally talked about a lot, but it's not when it's being talked about a lot right now. Is what are they going to do without him in there? And I mean, my initial thought would be,
I'm surprised he's getting as much playing time in the preseason as he is, knowing we're losing for 4 games.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. Not showing the package.
Yeah, we aren't showing. Shaq Thompson's not getting on the field.
Well, I mean, he has been in there.
He is.
He's in there with Thomas Davis and them. But you'd like to see the package without Thomas Davis. Yeah. And that's going to be something to watch because those first 4 games are going to be pivotal. Obviously, the first one against the Cowboys is going to be a huge one, just televised wise, and every Cowboys fans. We can't lose to Cowboys fans because nobody wants to hear about that for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
Oh, you remember that time we beat the Panthers on the opening week of 2018? Yeah. I also remember when we kicked your ass in 2015 on Thanksgiving Day. Yeah.
My mom is a huge Cowboys fan, and I love when we win.
I still vote we need to bring back the all-black uniform. We were talking about fresh uniform combos earlier tonight. I feel like the all-blacks need to come back. I still love the all-blue color rush. Panther fan 13, I'd get a Dante Jackson or DJ Moore jersey. Okay. I'm with you on a Dante Jackson. You just heard me say that earlier. Kevin McLeod. I need another Julius Peppers jersey, of course. That's actually one I do want. And especially now that he's back, it even makes more sense. It's like you're not just buying the jersey because you're getting a custom-made one. He's actually on the team. And he could easily, lead the team in sacks again this year. Julius Peppers is the GOAT for the Panthers, one of the best Panthers of all time. I would love to have his jersey. So, like I said, if y'all are watching, be sure to comment, hit that like button for us, subscribe to be entered for a chance to win a Panthers jersey, a specific, because I'm going to buy it before we do the giveaway, but you got to comment to get your vote in. Billy said he'd probably take a CMC jersey. I don't know what I ain't gonna vote because I don't know. It had to be Dante Jackson or Julius Peppers, or it could be Greg Olsen, Thomas Davis. I don't have any of those guys yet.
And if I end up at the stadium again this season, I'll probably have one.
Yeah,
but A lot of dough to drop.
I might get a David Tepper jersey. Just put salt and pepper on the back of it.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man. Anyway, that's gonna do it for us tonight, guys. I really don't know how much else to hit on. Just one thing just popped in my head again is something we talked about earlier. It's gonna be interesting to watch for Sean Gaulden moving forward because I don't feel like North Searcy is gonna be back before the Patriots game next week at safety. And that's a spot that was a question of concern going into training camp and preseason. So that's going to be something to watch. But y'all go ahead and subscribe to us right here. Like and follow us on Facebook as well if you don't already. That's where we do a lot of our stuff. We're trying out the YouTube thing. I always post our stuff afterwards. We're trying out the YouTube Live. And really, I know some people prefer us on the Facebook Live platform, and I love the Facebook Live platform except for one thing is quality, and Facebook just can't deliver on it like YouTube quite can, and we plan to make some upgrades quality wise on video production. So hopefully everybody will kind of move over here, and we'll just see how it goes. If it's not working out here, we'll jump back to Facebook Live and do our thing up there because we get a really good following on Facebook right now, and people love interacting up there. So y'all do that. But for Panthersaurus post-game show review, I'm Trip Morgan.
Billy Harless.
Y'all keep pounding, and we will see you next week when we kick the hell out of Tom Brady and the Patriots. Deuces.